Today's topic is, can somebody brand new to painting paint their first miniature with only the instructions from the Games Workshop Warhammer 40k Introductory box set? So, within these pages, they came up with a basic introductory how to paint your first miniatures. So it starts from how to thin your paints to loading your brush and then painting them certain colors. So if you want a rundown of what is actually in the introductory set, I will have a link in the description. Maybe a card will pop up. Go ahead, check that video out first, then come back here because this is going to be all about the painting portion of that introductory set. So this is editing me in the future, and I'm sorry to interrupt the video, but I noticed I made a very big mistake while recording. I actually had this microphone and my iPhone microphone recording at the same exact time during the first about, I believe it's 12 minutes. So the audio is very bad, lots of echoes, and it's terrible, but just bear with me. I didn't want to recreate the video because that would have been my second time painting, and I wanted you to get the genuine experience of my thoughts, feelings, actions, and everything. So I'm going to leave the terrible audio, but please bear with me, and I promise I won't let it happen again. So let's continue with the video.
So switching over to the new paint screen, I have my little Termagant that I am going to paint. Other people, I've seen their videos, they painted the Space Marine, so I wanted to give a little bit of variety. But the box in the back comes with 5 colors. We have the Craggy Blue, the Nagarath Knight, which is a purple, we have Abaddon Black, a Wrathbone, which is an off-white, and then the Balthazar Gold. I believe, I skimmed the manual already. We're only going to be using these 3 colors, and it's going to be a very, very basic paint job. I also have this cardboard cutout right here because it doesn't come with an actual palette to use. Now, I know they're cheap. You can probably get some off for $1 or 50 cents from your hobby store, but I just wanted to use what was in the actual introductory set. It doesn't have it. That's one thing I wish they would have had, like a little piece of plastic to use. Got a cup of water, and we are ready to go. First thing I want to do is I want to share what's in the book. Oh, by the way, it also comes with the starter brush. So, first things first, it's going to walk us through how to paint, which we have our basic how to paint right there. It's mostly have fun and enjoy the process, things like that. And it gives examples of what it could be. So if we check this out, there's the Termagant and then Furnace Marine right there. That's what it could be. That's not actually what we're going to do today because this doesn't walk you through all those techniques to get that fanciness. So, number 1, it tells us how to thin our paints. Basically, I skim this, I'm going to skim it for you. We, remove the paint, add it to the palette, wash the brush, add some water, mix it together, and then it also gives you tips on how to load the brush. As far as dip it in, pull and twist it down, that way it gets a nice point, and then you are ready to go. Moving forward, painting and Tyranids. So there is no primer, which is kind of shocking. They don't give you primer in this. So you're basically applying 3 coats of paint of the Wrathbone directly onto the plastic. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Again, I haven't done it yet, but every video I've watched advertises, you should probably have primer, that way the paint sticks. So it's kind of a miss there. This set really should include a little bit of primer and a plastic palette for you to use. So the tips are basically going to be our first coat. It's going to look a little patchy, let it dry for 5 minutes, and then also clean brush often and change the paint water in between colors. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So throughout the video, I might fast forward a little bit. You don't want to, you really don't want to watch paint drying, but that's kind of what it is right now. You're also going to need paper towels because sometimes it tells you to dry the actual, the brush. But you're going to get my commentary. I'm already worried about this because it is very tiny. there's a lot of tiny things. Like, how am I supposed to get into that underbelly right there without touching all the other stuff? It's going to be difficult. It really is. No doubt about that. What am I doing? Okay. So like I said, there's going to be commentary. There's going to be all sorts of just things going on that I discuss. So you can get the true beginner feel of what it's like to paint an miniature for the first time. I know if you found my video, you are either a pro that wants to get that kind of that idea of how it was when you first started painting. You know, that's gone already for you. I don't actually know how much paint I need. That's one thing. They don't. There's no measuring. There's nothing like that. So I guess I'll keep dipping because I need 3 base coats of this. And I know the cardboard is going to just soak up all the moisture. But yeah, either you're contemplating getting the box set or getting into actual painting, or you're just a pro that's been around for a while and wants to see me struggle. Either way, you're welcome here. One thing it did say is the consistency. They want you to have the consistency of milk, which I don't actually know what that means, because that skim milk, is that whole milk? I don't know. So I'm just going to keep throwing some water in here. I think that's milky enough. Following it says, go down and twist my brush. I feel like this is way too much paint. It's okay, we're going for it. There's no turning back, but I guess it is just paint, so we can always paint, right over it. Alright, no turning back now. I'm going to say the first coat is down. It is very splotchy, as you can see. So looking at it, very splotchy, a lot of areas that I didn't get, but I feel like I shouldn't keep painting it until it's dry. That's one thing that I did hear. I heard that if it's not fully dry, and you start painting over it, it'll get clumpy. So we're just going to let this sit for a little bit, and then I'll come right back to it. So it seems like the main issue that I'm having so far is I probably should have done like 2 or 3 of these at the same time. I hate waiting for paint to dry. But I think it's pretty close to drying right now if you want to check that out. It looks pretty dry to me. So I'm going to continue with the second base coat now. areas and things. Yeah, this is not going to work. So I am frustrated with frustration number one. It came quick. I'm frustrated that I don't have an actual palette, because that's a lot of paint. It's completely dry right now. I can't really get any more. So I'm going to see if there's something plastic, even if it's a plate. I could do a dinner plate. I'm going to go grab something real quick. I'll be right back, because if you're going to paint with just introductory set, I mean, find something that's slick, holds the water, doesn't soak it up, or else you're going to be running into my issues where you didn't even get to paint 2 coats before it just dried and absorbed into the cardboard. All right, I am back, and I found a plate. We are going to use this small dinner plate right now. It takes up more space than I wanted it to, but that's okay. So we're going to try this out. We are going to apply more paint. It looks like my paint exploded too. That's not good. It's alright though. It happens. Hopefully I just paint out the plate, right? It's probably not going to be that big a deal. But it told me not to get the paint up to the metal part of the brush, and I did not listen to him apparently. It's kind of hard to get out. Not hard in a sense of, difficult. It's just, I don't know how much paint I need. Part of me just wants to pour it out. Okay, I think that's good. We're going to see, because that won't soak up. I need to add some water. I need to clean this off, it said. Yeah, I got all sorts of paint on the brush where it's not supposed to be. We're gonna see if we can get that off. Alright. Perfect. We're gonna have a little bit of water, like it said. We're gonna mix it in. Is this milk? That doesn't seem milky. So more water. Is there like chunks in here? There might be little chunks, so we're trying to blend those in. It's either chunks or bubbles. Okay. So back to coat number 2. And just going to start laying them on thick.
All right, we're ready for the last coat of base paint that's going on them, and the paint is still wet, so perfect. Let's start at the foot here. So now that we have our 3 base coats, we're going to move on to the next steps. So the next steps are going to be add the Nagarath Knight onto the carapace and skull. So all the armored places get the purple, and then we have a little bit on the weapon and the claws that get black. So we're going to do that. Now here is a representation of what it's going to look like. So as you see, these aren't very detailed. You just have the 3 colors. Most of it really is just white. So this should be pretty easy. Yeah, we're not looking for spectacular results, just something to get everything painted and on the field. So let's get let's do the purple next, and we're gonna dump the water out since we are done with white. All right, so let's scoop out some of this purple. If I can get it open. Oh, it's like peeling up the entire thing. All right, there we go. So we have purple. And we are going to need some of that. So at this point, it doesn't say that we need multiple coats. So we're just going to get this much, I guess. Maybe a little more. We'll go that much. So we have that much purple. And then we are going to need to do the same thing. So we'll thin it out a little. It doesn't actually tell you to thin out every single paint, but I'm just assuming based on it saying it wanted a more milk-like thinner consistency. We're just going to go with this. One little thing is fine. All right, so here we are. We're into the actual painting. So all the scales, it's kind of hard to tell what are scales and what's not. But we know the head on the top is a scale. So we'll start there. I'm already shaking. All right, so we're going to start here and slowly get a purple base. Because before when we were painting, we didn't actually need to be careful because that was just the base coat. That coat was going to go on, or, you know, the coat went on everything. And I don't know, is this... Doesn't seem like it is going on very well. But maybe this needs multiple coats also. I'm trying my best not to hit any of the places it doesn't need to be. That's one of those easier said than done things. Oh man, this is really tough. Oops. I already had a slip of the brush and it hit his face. Ah, there we go again. That's not right. That's not right. I'm already making mistakes here. Which I'm sure happens because there's got to be a cleanup phase. It's just paint. I know I can always paint over the... I can always paint over the mistakes and clean it up. I know that. I know it, but it still doesn't make me feel much better about this. So we've got... I think this is the last scale over here. There we go. It goes to the shoulder pad. Maybe I shouldn't have thinned the paint out. It just seems like a splotchy mess right now. But I'm curious for everyone watching, how was your first miniature? Do you still have it? Did you give up? Are you thinking about getting right back into it? I want to know because this is making me kind of want to give up already. I don't know why it's so hard. The base coat wasn't that bad. I think, okay, and then the thigh has some scales down there that I need to get to. There's an arm that's really close. to the scale. I'm trying not to hit it. And I hit it. And how do I get the back side? Because I know there's scales on the other side. Like right behind there, behind the arm. I know there's scales. So how do I get that? We have a couple more scales here. Yeah, holding this thing is rough. Is that it with the purple? He's got the head, he's got the feet. Let me look at the actual picture again. Where are you, picture? So it's his back plates, his head, and oh wow, that is it. So it looks like I just need another coat on the scales before I call it good. Like, as you can see, it's pretty, I mean, it's still wet on top, but it's pretty splotchy in all the other areas. And then right there on that shoulder pad, there's a bunch of white that I didn't get to. Let's see if I can clean that up. But I got shaky hand already. Like my entire left, actually it's the left hand that's shaking more. I don't know if you can see it, but looks like we got the shoulder pad, and there's an underside on this side that needs to be painted. There we go. Oh, there's so much. Like, look at this leg. It just looks like it's the color's bleeding all over. I think that's it. So we'll let this dry, and then we will put another coat on him when I get back. All right, so we're going to continue painting a second coat on the scales. Try to get it a little more vibrant and more coverage, because you can still see the white in certain areas. I don't want that. Yeah, this is becoming a lot more deeper of a purple on the second coat. I can't tell. I guess that's a shoulder pad. And I hit his face. Great. Great. The joys of the joys of painting. I'm not staying within the lines. Oh man, this is rough. People find this relaxing from what I hear. And I don't know if I'm getting the same relaxing feeling at all. Okay. So I'm going to stop there because I think I'm just over painting now. But we have the purple on him. So there's certain places where I missed, hit his neck, hit his arm, especially in the face. I overpainted under here. I'm sure you can see. It started blending into his face. But we're going to move on because the next color is going to be black. And that'll actually finish everything off. So we're going to get a little bit of black in here. I'm not going to clean the water because I don't feel like getting up. And it's black anyways, so it'll probably be fine. All right, so we have our black. I don't think I need much of this because this is just going to be on the claws, some of the gun. It actually doesn't go on all the gun, which I'm confused about. You would think the entire gun would be black, but nope. Not in the beginner. It also says to paint the eye black. Now, I don't know anything about this game yet, as far as in-depth. I thought they had just regular guns, but I guess that is maybe that's a thing. Like maybe it's just an alien that he's holding and shooting. Because it did mention that there were some kind of flesh-eating things that it shoots. I'm not entirely sure. But I didn't think it would have an eye, that's for sure. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get just a little bit of water. We're going to mix that around. And now the final touches, even though I know it doesn't look like it's to the final stage. But we're going to start with the foot. So this little hoof thing right there gets some paint. And I did it again. I thinned it out way too much. Because if you can see the foot, it's just watery. I wonder if this will just dry. Oh no, this is going to be a lot of coats. If it's going to be that wet. But let's see, maybe the wetness isn't going to be that bad. Because I noticed as I'm dabbing onto things, it kind of just spreads out. It follows the contours of the actual model, which could be a good thing. But it's not applying much paint on there. So for the gun, it shows just these top, I'm going to call them scales. But these top scales are the only thing that's getting painted black. And as you can see, I'm already messing up. The paint is too wet. So keep that in mind. When you are, when you're loading the paint and mixing it together, I think it only wanted a wash on the actual base coat, and then I just did whatever I felt like and decided to do it for everything, and now it is not dark enough. So I'm gonna have to be putting in more coats to try to figure that out. Not a problem, just a minor inconvenience. Yeah, so it says an eye. Do you see an eye on this gun? Because I don't. If I look at it, I see like right there, it looks like part of his hand. But I don't know. We are just I'm trying to do my best. Okay. So it looks like the black is now starting to show up a lot darker, as you see on that gun right there. So that is good. I think it's drying out. The water really evaporates faster than I thought it would. Is there any more black spots that I haven't hit yet? I don't think so. I think I just need to darken out some of these places. Like the foot again, it didn't really get all the black pigment like it should. This claw here. I feel like there's one more spot I'm missing. I'm just referencing. Oh, there's a tiny little claw on the gun. All right, and it is done as it's going to get based on the actual tutorial from the book. Again, it has 3 colors. It has the base, it has the armor plates, which are purple, and it has a couple, nails and certain things, hooves that are black. So, is it the best paint, paint job ever? No. Is it close to being decent? No. Is it? Is it good? No, it's just one of those things where it's just trying to get you to put paint on a built mini, getting you play the game. So here is the final results. There was no cleanup done. You can see that I missed some places and I ended up getting paint where it wasn't supposed to be. It's a little darker in certain areas. But overall, I had a pretty good time with this Termagant. I'm going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep painting. If you want to get into the hobby like I did, again, brand new, no experience, never played Warhammer, never painted a mini, I haven't painted anything really. This is the way to go. So I hope you enjoyed that little walkthrough. Again, if you came to see how it was to struggle, mission accomplished. I struggled. If you're trying to see how hard it is, it's pretty hard. Everything's really small, and you're going to have to get used to it. So I'm not used to it. After that, I'm not even confident that I would do the next one even better. It's going to turn out the same or worse. But I know with art, just like music, because I play music, every time you do something, get a little bit better. And my takeaway from this was to not water down the paint so much. So as long as you can take away a little bit of something every time you practice, that is a win. So again, if you're interested, grab one of these introductory sets. Has everything you need to get playing Warhammer and painting. It will be there'll be a link in the description if you want to check it out. And if you click on it, it supports my channel, helps me buy more stuff and continue this hobby. Thanks for sticking around. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I did, and let me know what your first experience with painting was like. And I'll catch everyone next time.